Hello, mutants. I'm Utisha, the movie goddess, and you're watching Mutant TV.
If you're not MVP, it's just me, good old Strebo, with you back from Mutantville.com. And this week we're going to talk a little bit about The Walking Dead. Now, in case you're not familiar with The Walking Dead, which is simply the best zombie drama on television today, think about it, it is. It tells the story of Rick Grimes, former policeman, essentially the last Lone Ranger in a world gone zombie, as he leads a band of survivors, tries to lead them to safety. And it just, every episode, each week, they follow their adventures and where they are in the course of their journey to safety. So, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Check it out. Now, if you have seen it, you know by now, essentially, The Walking Dead is George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead stretched out to infinity. Whereas in Romero's Dawn of the Dead, the survivors go and they hole up in a mall. Okay, well, essentially, they take that same concept of just discovering something and playing it out to all the logical conclusions of that particular setting. They take that and they apply it to everything they can find in The Walking Dead, just going across the world. You know, this week it's a military installation, next week it's a farm. You know, that kind of thing. And they just play it out. So, here we are. We're literally in the middle of Season 2, and we just had the big Season 2 finale, and the show apparently is not going to be back until February of 2012. So that's quite a big gap. There's some kind of, I don't know if there's a strike going on, what the reason is for all these hiatuses, so to speak. But anyway, Walking Dead is pretty cool. Now, I'm going to say it's not perfect. I don't think it's the best horror show on TV right now. Actually, I would give that title to American Horror Story. But as far as a zombie show goes, it's the best zombie show. I like the story of Rick Grimes. I love that he still wears his old sheriff outfit with the hat. I mean, it very much makes him like the Lone Ranger, and he is trying to not only protect these people and his family, but he's also trying to carry on the last vestiges of the law in a world that's gone lawless, you know. And there's something very, very romantic about that, you know, like he's the last of King Arthur's knights, so to speak. So I dig that aspect. Now, also, you know, if you're not into the typical hero's journey type stuff, then there's also the character of Shane, who is Rick Grimes' best buddy, whose story is very, very different from the one that you find in the Walking Dead graphic novels by Robert Kirkman. You know, because originally, the TV series is based on comic book, in case you don't know. But they both have their own, they go separate ways. So, needless to say, Shane's character is one of the biggest differences. But, don't want to spoil it for anybody that's not familiar with it. But, in the TV show, I'm enthralled by Shane's character. He's the guys on Exploited Cinema call him David Hess's son, and he looks like he could be David Hess's son. You know, he had the Jew fro going on for a while. He's got kind of like a broken nose, like something like a boxer might have. Big, strong, tough alpha male guy. Definitely the guy that you want covering your back, well, so to speak, because he's probably the best shot in the whole group. The guy takes action. You know, when the zombies are coming, he just takes care of it. There's no yip-yapping or whatever. But yeah, spoilers coming. You know, as season 2 is going on, we found out the real character of Shane, and that's what makes his character interesting to me, because he started doing some diabolical stuff. I mean, when his little adventure with Otis, and that was crazy, and he shaved his head afterwards. It's symbolic that, okay, this dude has gone over the edge. Anything can happen with him. But then at the same time, he still has these qualities that one can admire in a character, such as you know, his loyalty, dedication, his courage under fire, strong will, all these things that make him useful as an ally. But then at the same time, he's got this dark, greasy, seedier side where you're not exactly certain what he's going to do next, and possibly no one is safe around him. But he's best buddies with Rick. They're dedicated to each other. It's pretty cool. The stuff I don't like about the show is obviously all the secondary characters, the subplots. I mean, the character Daryl is cool, and Dale, even though he's an old pain in the ass the majority of the time, at least in the last episode, he finally started stepping up and saying to people, well, I know this and I know that. And because otherwise, most of those other characters are just a pain in the ass. Old Dale, you know, the whiny woman, God, what's her name, Jenny or something. The black dude, sorry brothers, but y'all don't have a good representation on here. That black dude is just too whiny. He's always running from shit. You know, the only characters that are interesting are the ones that stand up for themselves, that go out and they fight the zombies. The rest of them, they're always whining and whatever. I'm just waiting for the day Shane takes a gun and shoots them all in their forehead and then goes to Rick and says, hey, you know, we need to get rid of those guys. Are you with me or what? Because he would still, you know, he's still trying to make things work with Rick, because he understands, you know, you got to have your band out there. You got to have your partners. You got to have your people behind you. So anyway, but the reason I watched the show, I gave you little character bits, is the zombie action. I mean, in the second season, I don't remember seeing it in the first season, but in the second season, it's noted in the credits that Greg Nicotero is one of the co-executive producers. So I thought, okay, well, this means Nicotero is just coming up with whatever zombie stuff he wants to each episode. Like, they're going and saying to him, well, we've got a zombie in a well this episode. What can you do with it? And he's like, yeah, well, what if we have it rip in half? Or, you know, those kind of things. And he comes up with cool stuff because the zombie effects every episodes are top notch. Yeah, there are CGI enhancements to them, but it's great stuff. We're talking about regular, you know, cable television, so to speak. You know, I was going to say free TV, but practically if you have TV nowadays, you have to have cable anyway, so you're going to see it somehow. So, yeah, lots of great zombie action. As long as they have cool zombie hijinks every episode. Like this season, they had the Walker herd. You know, they kind of explore one cool thing, one kind of big dumb fun aspect of the zombie genre each episode. You know, the season opener was the Walker herd. You know, then they had the zombie in the well. What else have they had? The walkers in the quicksand, all the walkers in the barn, you know, blah, blah, blah. All these different things. So yeah, anyway, check it out. Walking Dead, very, very cool show. I'm eager to see where it goes when it comes back. I think the last couple episodes, they finally started showing progress. I know there's a lot of things I didn't talk about, like the subplot with Lori and, you know, all the women and all that. I don't know. That stuff is all just boring to me. Lori's a pain in the ass. Yeah, but what are they going to do now? She's pregnant. What's going to happen? You know, what's eventually going to happen between Shane and Rick? There's so many different, you know, all the little soap opera elements. But aside from that, ultimately, I don't care. As long as each episode I get to see Rick trying to, you know, uphold the last vestiges of the law, and I see Shane greasing his way through the zombie world, and I see these guys blowing away some cool zombies every episode, I'm down with it. So as long as it keeps playing, I'll be behind it. They're coming back for a third season, so no fears yet. Let's see if it gets better, or stays good, or gets better, or gets worse. Who knows? But keep giving me my zombie action, guys. I'll keep watching it. Thanks. This is Strebo at MutantVille.com, and we've been talking TV, horror, The Walking Dead. See ya.
You're watching Mutant TV.